Zlatan Ibrahimović is footballing God. But even with that, some people have tried to take his throne, resulting in multiple battles. All through the years, Zlatan had faced a lot of different opponents, but first up is his iconic battle that almost became the funeral of Milan.
I do crazy things, but not in front of when people are watching.
In 2010, Zlatan was repping AC Milan when he came up against a beast. See, in training, the coach was making him do real match situation drills and separated the teams into 11 versus 11. Zlatan's teammate, Oniwu, was tasked with making sure he kept tabs on Zlatan all through the session. Oniwu looked like a beast, so whenever Zlatan had the ball, he went physical. Zlatan was getting pissed, and pretty soon he couldn't take it anymore, and the next time Oniwu got the ball, Zlatan snapped and went full crazy on him. Zlatan's sliding tackle was the start of the major brawl. Before long, everyone got involved, and it was all full of kicks, punches, and brutal knockouts. Even some of the teammates got involved, and the coaches couldn't stop the fight too. When everything managed to calm down, Oniwu had tears in his eyes, man, and when Zlatan went to have an x-ray right after, the results revealed he had broken ribs. Zlatan himself termed the fight as crazy and a battle of life and death. And to be fair, coming up against a guy like Oniwu at 6'5", it looked like these two were in a WBC fight for the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. The wrong sport. The crazy thing is, this isn't the first time Zlatan is getting into fights with his teammates. Because back in 2017, he took on this next dude and had him fighting for his life. When Zlatan Ibrahimović joined Manchester United back in 2017, it became pretty clear that his teammates had to sit up. Zlatan got into the dressing room and straight away he made his presence felt. Now, Zlatan doesn't deal with excuses or take no for an answer, so when Marcos Rojo decided to test his patience, Zlatan almost killed him. In a match, Zlatan was through on goal, so he kept on shouting for Rojo to pass, but he ignored him. Zlatan was furious, and when they got into the dressing room, he kept on yelling at Rojo until he couldn't take it anymore and he trashed Zlatan. "Who are you yelling at, big nose? Shut up." Aw, damn. No way Rojo called out Zlatan's nose. Zlatan immediately lost it, and according to Marcos Rojo, he knew Zlatan was about to kill him. So he said a silent prayer, and I'm guessing his lucky stars must have aligned that night, because before Zlatan could get close to him, the coach, Jose Mourinho, came in and prevented the whole situation from becoming a murder. But Zlatan still hadn't forgotten what Rojo said, and the next day, during team breakfast, Zlatan grabbed Rojo by the neck and asked him, "What did you say to me yesterday?" But Rojo must be one really lucky dude, because Zlatan immediately burst out laughing and forgave Rojo for the incident. Rojo still hasn't forgotten, and he keeps thanking God he was that lucky too. Thank goodness the necklock was a joke. I was already done. I'd never get out of it. Thank God for Rojo too. Dude could have been 6 feet under by now. But sometimes, some dudes are brave enough to face Zlatan, like this dude back in 2013. Joey Barton is one of the biggest shithouses in football. His bad boy track record is massive. He once stubbed a cigar into his teammate's eye and sent another one of the teammates to the hospital. So when he came up against the big Swede in 2013, the brawl was massive. Zlatan wasn't happy with the way the Marseille guys were playing, particularly Barton, so he walked up to him and started a pretty mean conversation. But Barton was being mean to Zlatan, and after Zlatan called him an English pussy, all hell broke loose. Barton told Zlatan to stop fouling him, that the ref wasn't going to blow, and said a whole lot of crazy stuff to get under Zlatan's skin. But Zlatan wanted him to fight face to face, so he told him, "Ah, you're supposed to be a man, you're supposed to be strong, stay on your feet." But Barton was hell-bent on getting Zlatan real angry, so he continued pissing him off, yelling at him, and before the ref could intervene, Barton said the unthinkable. "Yeah, I'm an English pussy, but you have a big fat nose. And you haven't subscribed to Mr. Football yet." Don't these guys ever learn? Don't mess with Zlatan, his nose, or his subscriptions. Zlatan knew from here that the best way to shut this dude up would be to eliminate his team and hit that subscribe button straight after. So he made it his mission to take out Marseille and scored a brace to knock him out. Barton was speechless, and after the game, Zlatan was all smiles because he knew he'd won this fight and could finally subscribe to Mr. Football. I guess the thrill of the fight excites Zlatan because when he took on Needham Onua, it was full-on war. When Zlatan got to MLS in 2018, he changed the game. Now that they had a superstar like Zlatan in the league, everyone started paying attention, including the opposition. Defenders started getting their heads up on how to get into Zlatan. So when Zlatan faced Real Salt Lake City in the next match, the coach called Needham Onuwu in and gave him the special mission. Needham, I want you to mark Zlatan tight today. Needham got the message, but I'm guessing he didn't realize he was up against a beast, and just a few minutes in, Zlatan catches Onuwu with his elbow, and that's when the fight begins. All through the match, Zlatan and Onuwu are going at each other, man. I'm talking kicks, shoves, and each insulting words. The hate was real. The game ended 2-1, with Zlatan scoring the winner, and as they went into the tunnel, Zlatan knew he'd beat another opponent again. But this time, instead of gloating, Zlatan wanted to exchange a couple of words with Onuwu, but he wasn't having it. He came in to apologize after the game, because from 60 Minutes, he's saying what he's going to do to me. He's going to hurt me for that game. This is the guy who is the face of MLS, and he calls himself. Whoa, I'm starting that Onuwu must really have hated Zlatan. As soon as Zlatan saw the stuff Onuwu said, he knew he had to come out and set the record straight. Whatever happens on the field stays on the field. I like to feel alive. I like it when it becomes duels because sometimes, not that I fall asleep, but I do feel alive if they don't activate me. They need to activate me or else it becomes too easy. I know me. When I get angry, I feel good. Talk about the living Terminator. He feels good by getting into fights? I'd love to see Zlatan's detention record back in high school. Zlatan's battle with Onuwu was disguised beef, but his next clash with Romelu Lukaku was a full-on war. In 2021, AC Milan and Inter met in one of the hottest Milan derbies of all time. The stakes were high for this one, because just a couple of months back, AC Milan defeated Inter 2-1, with Zlatan scoring the winning and going on social media to post the caption, "Milan never had a king, just a god." The Inter players went nuts after seeing this, so when they met a second time, it wasn't going to take long before this one went over the edge. Just before halftime, Lukaku and Alex Selemakers had an argument, but as the leader of the Milan team, Zlatan knew he had to step in to defend his own. So he told Lukaku to pipe it down, but Lukaku was fed up with Zlatan and probably thought he could take on the beast, so he responded, "What do you do if I don't?" In true Zlatan fashion, Zlatan savaged him. "I'm going to break every bone in your body if you open your mouth." This was the switch, because immediately after that, they went full-on, head-to-head. The entire team, including coaches and staff, had to get involved, and just before they could finish separating the two of them, Zlatan landed the killer blow. Go tell your mother to do a voodoo spell for you. Boom! Lukaku froze on the spot. See, back in 2017, after Lukaku left Everton to join Manchester United, Everton's owner, Farhad Moshiri, claimed that Lukaku only joined United after receiving a voodoo message from the advice of his mom. Lukaku denied the whole incident and thought it'll never come up again. But as Zlatan said those words, it hurt him deep. Zlatan knew that he had Lukaku right where he wanted him, and as they came into the changing rooms, Zlatan was gearing up for a fight. But it didn't happen. Inter went on to win the match 2-1, but I'm definitely sure Zlatan's words still haunt Lukaku. See, Zlatan is probably the last baller anyone would want to piss off because he's big on keeping his promises, no matter how long it takes. In 2006, Zlatan was repping Juventus when they met Inter Milan in the league. Both teams were fighting for the title, so there was a lot at stake, but Marco Materazzi had a different side quest: to injure Zlatan. He was going hard on Zlatan, and before long, he took it way too far and lunged into Zlatan so hard, the big Swede couldn't stand up. Zlatan was in tears. Just before he came off, he promised himself that he'd get revenge on Materazzi, no matter how long it was going to take. Zlatan was secretly training and planning for his big moment. He even became a black belt. And when he finally got the chance, Zlatan made sure that he'd fulfill his promise and send Materazzi to the ER. Damn, Zlatan wasn't even looking at the ball. He just wanted to take out Materazzi's balls. As Materazzi was laying down, Zlatan made sure to remind him that this was revenge from 4 years back. That's right, he hadn't forgotten. Pretty sure Zlatan and Materazzi won't be going on vacations together anytime soon. Just like Billy Wingrove and Jeremy Lynch. See, the F2 used to be one of the greatest YouTube duos of all time until something so bad happened, their kingdom fell to pieces. Want to find out what happened to the F2? Just click the next video.